Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Oktoberfest 300 from the Nürburgring. NATO, how you going, mate? You there, Nate? Looks like we've lost our number two for the minute, so I'll get started with the proceedings. So, we are at the Nürburgring for this race tonight, and I'll start by having a quick look at the track. So, the Nürburgring is built on the Nordschleife in the northern part of Germany, or northwestern part of Germany. So, we have the Zelguard Strait, where we come down into the Mercedes arena, into turns 2, 3 and 4 through the arena section, down into turn 5 and 6 through Ford Curve, down into turn 7 at Dunlop, then we come up through the fast-flowing Michael Schumacher S, up into the Rill RTL curve at 10, into the Wasner curve, into the Advan curve, which is a very fast-flowing part of the track, and then after that we wind up into the NGK chicane and then into turn 15 to bring us back onto the straight. So it's 15 corners, track length of 5.148 kilometres, and to top that off, we have a record for the race set by James Scott, our previous race winner, who's not with us tonight, and it is a lap time of 1:53.281. I will try again and say, how you going, NATO?
Hello, everyone. Is it working this time?
Yes, mate, I can hear you. How you going?
Well, I'm much better now that technology appears to be working in my favour. Third device later, I'm back.
And how's the finger, mate?
Yeah, fingers going good. It's getting there, and the doctors are saying that I can start doing little bits more with it, which is always a good thing. So, still got to take a lot of care, but dare I say it, I'm starting to get behind the wheel a little bit.
It's good to hear, mate. I bring a little birdie. We'll talk about this one a bit later. Little birdie tells me you're actually driving a Mustang on Sunday at Bathurst.
Yes,
What?
I may have been converted to the dark side for a Bathurst 1000 on the weekend, but I'll tell you what, it was an absolute blast.
It was a fair effort. I think his boys finished fifth, which is not too bad. So,
Yeah, we managed to get fifth after some race strategy after the 1000 kilometres of racing. Blake and I had we had a very simple plan at the start of the day. Let's try and finish on the lead lap, and we managed to do it. We finished on the lead lap, and which fell in our favour because our race strategy meant that we complied with some very tight main driver and co-driver rules. And as a result, we managed to gain a couple of spots after the race was over, resulting in a top 5 finish. So for basically one of my first events back, I was more than happy with that. And Blake drove the wheels off the thing to keep it on the lead lap. So it was a fantastic day overall. Both of
uh,
us were very happy.
well, I heard Blake wasn't happy, mate. Something about you had a 1X for the race.
Yes, well, we nearly managed to get a perfect 1000, but I may have had a little bit of a moment, shall we say, just before Skyline, where the Mustang I was in must be slightly wider than the Commodore, and I just touched that outside curb, and I may have stopped breathing for the next 30 seconds with what happened afterwards. I caught it, but as a result, we got a 1X, so we thought about calling it a day then and there, so...
There you go. We might have a quick look at the championship standings of this series. So after 9 rounds, it's still very tight at the top, with only 20 points separating Blake Warboys and Jamie McKnight, with Christian Smart sitting neatly in third on 1465, not too far behind, and Harrison Dengate's quietly sneaking back up into the top four on 1446. Rob Carmichael from Fishy on 1432. Michael Drumbrell from Hypersonic is only 1 point behind on 1431, and Scotty McCune as well on 1425. Paul Young from PRA, so a big shout out to my PRA mates out there if you're watching, on 1371. And then Michael Stewart on 1357, Andrew Archer on 1347, and Nathan Gore in 11th on 1299. And we'll keep going down. Craig Roffey on 12.42, 12.24 for Ash Barella. So it's really tight at the top end of this championship with not many rounds left.
Yeah, now that we're coming into the final leg of the championship, I believe, I don't know how many rounds ago it was now, but we called it. It was going to be tight, and it's certainly shaping up to be very, very tight. There's still no breakaways from anyone in the field anywhere, so it's going to go down to this 500, I reckon, the Bathurst 500.
I know. It's going to be really tough, the old Bathurst 500. 3 hours of broadcasting. It'll be interesting to see how we go after watching the broadcast on the weekend.
Yeah, never mind the drivers. It's going to be tough for us.
Yes, it will be. It will be an interesting one. I think we'll get there. And if you are watching at home, give us a big shout out. Let us know who you're following. Let us know who you want to see win tonight. As we said, it's going to be another tough race, I think. 58 laps around the Nürburgring. We might have a quick look, while we're talking about how tough it is, we might have a quick look at the qualifying.
Yes.
So, we have a new person on pole. We have Logan Barnett has come in and taken the pole position, followed by Blake, with Matty Dench up into third, which is a fair effort by Matty. So Matty's doing quite well there. And Michael Whiting representing Fishy up in fourth. Harrison Dengate in fifth. The People's Champion, Jamie McKnight in sixth, followed by another Fishy entrant in Troy Maguire. And then Paul Young from PRA. And then Scott McDonald, Michael Dumbrell, Ash Barella getting up a bit higher in quali, up into 11th. Nathan Gore in 12th. Blair Van Ree in 13th. And 14th, Michael Stewart. So it's going to be a very, very interesting race again tonight.
It's interesting to see another new pole man up there. I think everyone's challenge and goal is, can we get Blake? And I think that's Blake certainly made it pretty clear to everyone that he's good at that qualifying lap. So anyone that can go quicker than Blake, it's a very, very quick lap. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what tonight brings.
And it is a very interesting prospect. Like, as you said, you did Bathurst on the weekend, so he probably didn't have the time to put into his quali setup. But it's still going to be a very, very tough race tonight. And fuel strategy, tyre strategy will come in to consideration. We've noticed with these races, the bloke that can drive the car, look after the tyres, look after the fuel, will usually come out sitting quite well.
Yeah, it's always with these longer races just down to fuel. Who can get that one extra lap to save those couple of seconds with how tight these battles are and with how many kilometres we're driving? It is literally just coming down to seconds, like not 10, 20, 30 seconds, just a couple of seconds. So to be able to get a couple of seconds up your sleeve because you've driven one extra lap in that final pit stop to have a little bit less fuel put in, it pays a huge benefit towards the end of the race to be able to do it and pull it off. So it's literally every aspect of these boys' race comes into play when they're trying to get a maximum amount of points for themselves.
That's exactly right. And I just got to say, Nate, that was a pretty big gulp you had just before the start of that little intro there, mate. Just a big reminder to everybody that not race control, we're not talking to them at the moment, but us in the commentary box, we're going to enjoy this very much. This is the Oktoberfest 300, and we're in for a good night.
Well, when I said technical difficulties, I didn't specify exactly what those technical difficulties were. So when you go through a couple of them, the screen's looking a little bit blurry to me, Johnny. I don't know about you, but I thought we'll try our best to make it through the night.
We will. We will. And the boys have got another 3 minutes here of practice, so we'll just let them continue that before we get ready to start. So if you are watching at home, let us know who you're going for, who you're cheering for. Give us a shout out. And we're always happy if anyone wants to rate NATO's commentary. And a big shout out to my mate Daniel Norris and Mick Rush as well. Good to have Mick on tonight in the background. And of course, a big shout out to Mary Partridge too, Harrison Dengate's grandmother. So hopefully young Harrison can have a good drive tonight. He's probably due for one, so it'll be good to see.
It'll be good to see what young H can do. So in the practice session at the moment, he's at the top, but long way to go between practice and the end of racing tonight. So anything is possible.
Just an FYI to all drivers, at the end of practice, I'll be setting the grid at 3 minutes. 3 minutes to gridding, so if you need to do any last minute toilet breaks or drink gathering, whatever, you'll have 3 minutes.
There you go. He's giving 3 minutes. And I heard that in the background. Ben Anthony's giving the boys 3 minutes to grid up, blaming us, but then telling the boys that they can have a toilet break. So I reckon it's probably a toilet break for race control, but hey, that's all right.
Yeah, anything's possible in Germany.
Well, I know how many beers we've had, so I don't know about them.
Yes, the seal is certainly going to get put to test tonight, it will, Johnny.
Oh, bummer. Tyrone Anderson's got internet issues and he's out. That's a pity. I was expecting Tyrone to have a good run at this track. It's a bit disappointing.
That's not what we like to see at the start of a night.
And just looking there, Blair is running the Enduro livery instead of the standard livery that he's normally supposed to be running. So I really feel sorry.
I think it's more standard to see Blair in a different livery each week than the same livery 2 weeks in a row. He's a talented man.
At least he's not in the Mustang. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see Blake breaking leg holding up the Bathurst over the weekend. Brake leg can hold up. Yeah, sorry, Stu. I'm just trying to read out the screen. Yeah, it's good to see Stu. I reckon it'd be interesting to see if he can hold up too. But there is a big weight off his back, so that braking leg should have a lot less weight on it now that he hasn't got Nate in the car.
Yeah, I was going to say his back should be feeling much better since he's not carrying our team after my effort over the weekend, but we'll see how he goes.
We have another 20 or so seconds of practice and then we'll be ready to go. Race time. So we might just increase the car volume a bit for everyone at home.
Well, even though Tyrone isn't racing tonight, he's definitely getting onto our German theme and might have a beer or two himself. So I think we might see him at some point, Johnny. If we're one of us are going back up to the bar to get a beer, we might bump into him.
Don't you worry, Nate. I'll organise some table service shortly.
Now you've got me intrigued.
Let's just have a quick look through the grid. We've got Logan Barnett on pole, as we mentioned, followed by Blake Warboys, Matty Dench in third, Michael Whiting in fourth, Harrison Dengate fifth, the People's Champion Jamie McKnight in sixth, Troy Maguire in seventh, Paul Young from PRA in eighth, and in ninth we've got Scotty McCune from Hypersonic Racing. In 10th, Michael Dumbrell from Hypersonic Racing, and then Ash Barella in 11th, Nathan Gore from Send It Sim Sports in 12th. We move up the list here. We've got Blair Van Ree in 13th from WK&P, Michael Stewart from HRS, Nicholas Loveridge in 15th, Dylan Gray from Renown Sim Sports, Mr. Timmy Nichols from Pecky's Performance Racing in 17th, from Darren Shannon from MU Racing in 18th, Frank Hodick, Andrew Archer, Tyrone Anderson, who I believe is not on the grid, Ryan Van Ree in 22, Dave Garbett in 23, Darren Crosby from M1 in 24th. In 25th, we've got Toddy Martin from Scorpion Esports. Big shout out to Mick Rush, of course. Troy Sipple in 26th, another Scorpion driver. Nathan Cook, Mark Peck from Pecky Performance Racing. Shane Newlands from Mauler Esports. And then we've got our rear of field starters, Robbie Carmichael from Fishy Motorsport, Paul Hayes, and Chris Island. And, of course, Car 33, Richie Barella, the safety car driver extraordinaire.
That is one full grid it is again, Johnny.
It is. It is a very full grid. Great to see, and there's still room for more.
Round 10, 58 laps tonight.
We might just mute the boss. And, yeah, so we're starting the grid up, and we should be just about all systems go very shortly.
Yeah, I'm sure with our week off, these boys won't fail to deliver for an entertaining night of Tuesday night racing.
It'll be interesting to see what we come up with here. And I've got to go. So we have just about got another 30 seconds before we get going. And it will be very interesting to see how this one plays out. As we know, turn 1 coming down into the Mercedes arena section. The turn 1 at this track is synonymous for incidents, particularly at starts. So hopefully the boys can all get through safely. And
yeah, 30 cars into this tight hairpin. It will be very interesting, it will, Johnny.
It will be. It will be very interesting to see.
Good luck, all.
And
engines are revving.
Green.
And we're away.
And Logan Barnett's got a very good start. Looks
Yeah,
like
he's got a
Blake's coming
fantastic start.
in to cover off the corner. Oh, big dive there from the Fishy boys behind. Oh, a little bit loose there from Logan Barnett.
Oh, yeah, there's a little bit argy-bargy sort of going on throughout here. Everyone I think's made it through. No spinners as of yet. Sort of vaguely looking through the field.
As we come through,
Troy Mcguire's on the grass.
as we come through the last parts of the arena section, head down into the forward corner, and Dumbrell's on the comms. Not sure what about.
Can do, Mick.
We'll find out in a second. And so Logan Barnett's got off to a good start in the Blake Warboys was close behind in second, followed by Michael Whiting, Matthew Dench, Jamie McKnight, the big winner, Paul Young up into 6th, Nathan Gore, good start into 7th as well. And Harrison Dengates dropped back 3 spots to 8th, so not sure what happened to Harrison on the start, but he looks like he's still running quite cleanly. So what would be the game plan from here, Nate? Just settle in?
It would be, well, apart from personal nerves from being back behind the wheel and watching the angry field try and come on through, it would be settle the nerves, try and get into your rhythm as quickly as possible. If you got the ability to take 1 or 2 quick spots because the opportunity's right there, 100% go for it. But if it's something that would compromise your race, with how long these races are, don't do anything silly in these early stages. Keep the car clean, keep it off other drivers, settle in, start pumping out those lap times as quickly as you can. That's my logic for doing it, and I'm basically a semi-pro after the weekend at Bathurst, so got all the theory.
Okay, as we complete lap 1, Logan Barnett takes the lead, and Blake Warboys close behind, Michael Whiting close behind, Matthew Dench close in behind there, Jamie McKnight sitting in 5th, up 1 spot, Paul Young up 2 spots in 6th. And Blake, the big dive in turn 1, looks like Logan's gone a bit deep. And Blake's got away there.
Yes, that's not quite what Logan would have wanted. I'm sure he's going to be hunting Blake down to try and get that lead back as soon as possible. Although he does have his hands full at the moment, still going too wide. Michael Whiting ahead of him now. Matthew Dench having a good look, still side by side for Logan.
Car 11, can you please redress behind car 334?
Oh,
Car 11, please redress behind 334.
well, race control there, calling in a redress.
Yeah, they've got their hands busy nice and early tonight, they do.
Yep. I'll select my buttons right here, and it looks like we have...
007, your incident was a result of the contact between them two.
And we'll mute that. Righto. So Blake Warboys in the lead, Michael Whiting in 2nd, Matthew Dench in 3rd, and Jamie McKnight sitting in 5th, Paul Young in 6th. We might drop to the back of the train here and have a bit of a look what's happening. So drop back on Paul and we'll go with the nose cam.
Oh, sorry, Johnny. I've just noticed car 334 Ash Burrell has just had a adventure into the grass and just coming on the track. Not sure what happened there, but
I'll tell you
looks
what,
like he's got it going.
we might go the Dirty Pig replay. Oh, looks like he's got pushed a bit wide there, young Ash. And into the wall. That's not the way he wanted to start, I would imagine. Took him a little bit to get back on track as well. Down it. Down at the hairpin that was. Let's job back on with Paul Young. So big shout out to my PRA mates, of course. And Youngie sitting in 6th, staring up behind the People's Champion, staying nicely in the train here. See, they've all spread out a little bit, but they're all still fairly close together. Of course, the big winner from the start, we might jump back, has been Rob Carmichael. So Rob Carmichael from Fishing Motorsports is up 17 spots already.
Wow, that is a huge effort early on in this race.
It is huge, not short.
Well, Rob's proven in previous weeks that he's got what it takes to get up the front and win some of these races, so
well, he's
partially no surprise that he's charging on through like this. It's great to see.
Definitely keeping the pressure there on Timmy Nichols as he goes past. Moves up, next target, it's Blair Van Ree. Timmy Nichols fights back though. Good to see Timmy stick it up the inside. And
3 wide coming out of the corner.
This is pretty impressive. Of course, Andrew Archer not taking a step back here as well, so this is pretty good driving this.
It's fantastic to see how much race room these boys are giving and the amount of trust that they must have in one another that no one's going to do anything silly, because that's certainly some very fast parts of the track through there. So
these boys having a ding-dong battle here, so it looks like Rob's through this. Next target, Blair Van Ree.
This in his multicoloured Mustang Commodore livery once again for Blair.
And what we might do is we might have a quick look as well through the pack. We might jump up the front here because Michael Whiting is under a lot of pressure from Matthew Dench. And Logan Barnett looks like he's holding station with the People's Champion behind him. It's such an interesting corner, turn 1, the lines that people take.
Yeah, it's certainly a number of ways to do it, isn't there?
So we're 4 laps, 58 laps down, so we're off to a reasonable start. This is a ding-dong battle for second. It was Matthew all over the back of Michael Whiting.
Yeah, it's a little bit of catch-22 at the moment for both boys, because they obviously want that position, because track position means a lot going into all these pit stops, but at the same time they don't want to battle too much, because that'll allow Blake to skip away up ahead. So they've almost got to work together, but keep battling at the same time to try and get that track position, but also try and stay within Blake's toe.
That's right. Blake's last lap being the fastest lap of the race so far with a 159.11.
So he certainly loves a bit of clear air, Blake. After watching him on the weekend, it doesn't matter where he is on the track. As soon as he has that clear air, watch those lap times drop. So certainly give him credit for that.
So this lead pack of 6 have cleared out from Michael Dumbrell in 7th. We might go back, we might have a look back through the pack, we might go back, have a look at the battle and see what's going on. So we've got Blair Van Ree, Harrison Dengate's dropped back a little bit, I didn't see that spin there. We might go to the Dirty Pig replay, have a look what happened to Harrison. Well, it looks like he's missed a gear or something. We'll sideswipe the car there, might go back again. She's going slow, so I'm not sure what's happened there.
Earlier on in the lap he was holding 8th position rather strongly, and yeah, now he's down to 11th, so
I'm not sure what the go is. But he seems to be holding that position where he is now, behind Blair. With Rob Carmichael, our hard charger at the moment, up 18 spots. Doing reasonably well. And we just had a change between Scott McCune and Michael Dumbrell, so probably a bit of team orders from the Hypersonic Garage.
yeah, it's good seeing how close these boys are. Like shows a good teamwork that they must have and working on setups with one another, because most weeks, week in, week out, these hypersonic boys are very, very close to one another. Great to see.
It is. And it's always interesting. Doesn't matter whether it's vets. Oh, Harrison making a move in the background there on Blair. Doesn't matter if it's vets or if it's East Coast. You usually see these boys out qualifying strongly together.
In the background, Blair's got his hands full with Rob Carmichael looking to make a move as well to get past Blair.
Go back to have a look at this battle here. Rob Carmichael. It's a very fast-flowing circuit, this one.
Yeah, it sure is, and you don't realise sort of how, because of how big and open the whole track is, you don't realise sort of how fast and flowing it is, but for a lot of the track these guys are doing anywhere from like 150 to 200 k's sort of is a lot of the average throughout it. Like there's a few very sharp and pointy sections of the track that you've got to really concentrate on getting good drive out of the corner, but there's so many fast sweeping corners as well that really ask a lot of the tyre as well, so that'll be the other thing I reckon we'll see tonight is who's the smoothest behind the wheel and who's going to try and save those tyres as much as possible to have pace towards the end of their stint.
That's exactly right. You've got to be very careful. This is turn one.
Yeah, I'm going to call it nice and early. I reckon if Rob keeps this up, I reckon he's almost got the hard charger award secure in the bag. Dare I call it this early in the race?
That's a big call.
It's I've been impressed watching him drive week in and week out, so I reckon if there's a man that can do it from the back and keep it secure, it would be Rob.
So what you're telling me is you want to push the button on a big finish for the hard charger.
Ooh, that's I didn't think this through, but yeah, go on, let's do it nice and early.
Yep. You're looking for a big finish for the hard charger, Rob Carmichael. That's NATO's call.
Rob, don't let me down now, mate.
Jamie McKnight under a bit of pressure here. It looks like he's gotten past Logan Barnett. How's the EMU car? Darryl Shannon going? Let's have a quick look for you. Darryl sitting down in 18th. Hotly contested, being chased by Michael Stewart as he pushes up on the Pecky Performance Racing Timmy Nichols.
It's a good little battle pack here, isn't it, Johnny? There's a lot of them that are in a very freight train sort of situation.
Yeah, so you got Ryan Van Ree behind Michael Stewart with Darren Crosby, Man 1 Motorsport, about 2 seconds back down the road. And up the road we've got Nathan Gore and Frank Hodak. And Roy,
seven of them all together.
And Roy doesn't think it's fair that Rob, starting from rear grid, gets the hard charger. All I can say, Roy, is that NATO and I are pretty popular, and people just want to come sit in the green room with us after the race. So they do some weird things to try and get in. That's all I can say.
I would try and disagree with you here, Johnny, but I'd be lying. So it's clearly the only logical explanation why we have people starting from the rear grid each week. It's understandable too. Like, who wouldn't want to come into the green room at the end of the race? Like, it's good fun.
And Daniel Norris, commentators curses. Usually when we go on board for footage with Ash Barella, we usually see an accident after that.
Yes, it's and if you don't believe us, ask Joshy. The amount of times that we've done it for Joshy and we've accidentally gone on Ash at the wrong point in time. I swear we didn't mean to throw that banana out on the track, but it did end up out there.
So
and Ash has got a part-time job with Jim's mowing.
So let's have a quick look up the front here. Michael Whiting is nearly 2 seconds behind Blake Warboys now. Matty Dench is just under a second behind Michael. Jamie McKnight's a further 2 seconds back. And then we've got Logan Barnett right up behind the People's Champion, making him earn his money tonight. followed by 5 seconds down the road, Paul Young from PRA, Scotty McCune from Hypersonic, another 5 seconds back, and then we've got this big battle pack behind Nicholas Loveridge with Michael Dumbrell, Harrison Dengate, Rob Carmichael, and Blair Van Ree a little bit further back from that. So we've got a couple of battle packs starting to form and a couple of groups starting to spread out. So we might just go a bit further back through the pack. Well, having a look, Troy Maguire from Fishy, he's travelling along. He's down 6 spots, but looks like he's recovering.
Yeah, well,
Just had an accident.
looking at Troy's time, he's nearly a second quicker than some of the boys in front of him, so he's certainly pushing very hard.
Just noticed we've had an accident. We'll go have a look what happened to Paul Hayes on the Dirty Big replay. Looks like... Just got a little bit loose there coming into the chicane. And we might just have a bit look further back. Just keep an eye on the front, Nathan, if something happens. But we've got Nathan Gore from Send It Motorsport, Sim Sports, sitting in 15th. And he's got Frank Hodak right behind him from Renown. And then behind them, we have our man Timmy Nichols from Pecky Performance sitting in 17th. And Daryl Shannon from Emu behind him. Ryan Van Rees dropped off the pack a little bit, but he's under a lot of pressure from Darren Crosby. And then we've got Troy Sipple from Scorpion Esports. So Troy's up 5 spots, doing reasonably well. We've got a 7-second gap from Dave Garbett. And then Dave is under pressure from the man, the myth, the legend, Mark Peck. So Pecky doing reasonably well. He's up 5 spots. He'd be happy with that. Ash Barella's down 13 spots and under a lot of pressure from Chris Island. And as we go further back, Nathan Cook, in the Cobra entry. And then Toddy Martin from Scorpion, from the Jab, or the Nab, I'm not sure. I'm getting a bit confused. And Hazy, of course, with the beautiful pink livery and Scorpion car with the Stefan branding on it. Shane Ewens in the Parmalet. That's another great looking car too from Shane. And Michael Stewart is rear of grid, so I'm not sure what's happened to Michael to put him back there. Well, it looks like he's actually not on the track, so we'll go back to the front. How's Blake going?
Yeah, Blake's coming out to a pretty convincing lead out here. He's approximately half a second quicker than the boys behind him, so he's certainly got this early on pace again with it. But yeah, Matthew Dench and Michael Whiting seem to be getting into a pretty good rhythm, doing very similar times, one sitting behind the other. I reckon they're just working as a team now to try and get a hold of Blake, and then similar thing behind with McKnight and Logan. Both doing very similar times, just sitting one behind the other. I reckon Logan's trying to save fuel behind the People's Champion, trying to learn a thing or two off of him, but Jamie's doing good to press on and keep not too far behind him. And then just behind that, we've got Paul Young, who's sort of enjoying a little bit of time on his own and enjoying that little bit of clear air. A little bit slower than the guys in front, but still doing a very good job to keep himself there. And then back in this battle pack of now 5 of Scotty McCune, Nicholas Loveridge, Michael Dumbrell, Harrison Dengate, and on the back of it, Mr. Rob Carmichael. So they're spread out a little bit. But yeah, it's certainly starting to bunch up though. I reckon these guys will certainly have a little bit of action go on by the time we get near the first pit stop round.
I think it will be. It's going to get quite exciting. Might jump on board with some online view, have a look at the track from inside the cockpit as we come out of the Mercedes arena.
Go through, Darren. My tyres are shot.
No worries, lad. 623, no further action.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a lap of the Nürburgring.
Yes, it's 2 minutes of tonight's race in the hot box seat with Blake, so certainly a fantastic track it is.
So, of course, we just heard Ben Anthony, race control, on the radio saying no further action. So we might just have a quick look and see what's going on in race control.
It's an interesting night for him.
Yep, that kind of explains why he's got no further action on track.
Yeah, it's they would have struggled to see it, I reckon. I'm no expert at drinking, but I reckon that it would have been a very big blur for some of these boys. It's it would have been in the zone. Mr. Ben Anthony.
Let's go back to the battle pack. We'll go back to have a look at Michael Whiting. They've bunched up again behind him.
Yeah, starting to get close again, the second through to six, aren't they? They're not really in two pairs anymore, just one big freight train of four.
Yeah, and it looks like we've got Paul Young a bit further back, of course. He's dropped off a bit, so these guys have seemed to have picked up the pace. Hang on, Tyrone's going to the bar. Don't worry, Tyrone. We've got that covered too tonight, mate, so the bar's coming to me.
Nothing like table service. You've got me. I'm looking forward to it, Johnny.
If you are following along at home, please feel free to jump on into the comments. Leave us a note. Let me know how NATO's commentary going. Of course, always rated out of 10. So these boys here, it's really interesting. Blake has clearly cleared out by 4 seconds, but these guys are really bunched up. So I'm just wondering whether the contest amongst themselves has allowed Blake to slip away, or whether we're looking at the conserving of tyres and stuff out of these guys. And Blake maybe has spent his tyres and fuel.
Yeah, well, it's interesting from Blake's point of view, isn't it? You either keep a very similar gap to the guys behind you and try and drag it out as long as possible, hoping that you make up that time in the pits. Or if you know that you've got a decent amount of pace for tonight, do you push on and try and break that gap a little bit? So if you have the same pit stop time, then you've got the track position up your sleeve. So it's an interesting one and an interesting way with what you go with it. So
it really is. It's just it's tough. Like I couldn't make a call here. We might jump back and have a look how our hard charger Rob Carmichael's going. So we have Michael Dumbrell, Rob Carmichael, and Harrison Dengate hanging on to the tail here. Troy Mcguire has pushed back up and caught up to this group. You could say Troy was lapping fairly well. So it's a fair battle.
He's still got a decent amount of pace on the boys in front of him, Troy, so he's certainly putting in a very good effort to progress through and get back up closer to the pointy end of the grid.
Of course, big shout out to our number one South Australian fan, Dave Baldock. Good to see you back on tonight, mate. Surprised when I bring the beers out, Dave turns up.
Well, it's we've had an interesting development in our comments section that they agree with us that Blake's bloody fast, but Roy's throwing out an interesting suggestion of give Blake a 10-second drive-through. 10-second drive-through for Blake just to try and slow him up a bit. He's certainly got the pace tonight, and he's certainly showing off that he can drive these things. So I don't think that Bathurst on the weekend has slowed him up at all. He's done certainly a number of laps in a supercar now, and it's starting to show.
We'd ask race control, Roy, but I think they're too busy dancing.
Yeah, they're having an absolute blast. They are, race control. But I mean, when we're back in Australia and out of lockdown here in Victoria, I'm sure race control will be able to show us a thing or two with once we're able to hit those dance floors again.
All right, let's jump back up the front. It looks like Michael Whiting's caught up a little bit to Blake. Then Jamie McKnight has moved his way past Logan Barnett. So a little bit of a change up the front. And must be getting close to our first fuel stop. Logan Barnett slide off track again. So it looks like his tyres have gone. Looking how I'm sliding in the background there. Might just jump on board with Logan and have a quick look. It's looking a little bit loose. Oh, there's been an accident. Rob Carmichael's had a crash. Let's go to the big replay. Oh, sticks it up the inside. Never going to end well.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. And Michael Dumbrell caught up in the middle of that one. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens.
Well, it's it might have been a rookie error seeing what happens early on, calling it, but he seems to have it going.
He's going now, and he's been caught up. Michael Dumbrell behind him, so we might just...
Sorry, mate.
An apology there. We'll just go back live with comms. We've got the end there of a sorry, mate, so at least there was an apology, and it looks like they're all going again. Yes, Roy, James should make an appearance. This would be a great series to have him in. Same thing for you, Toddy Hayne. Mr. Scops driver that you are. Would love to see you have a run in this series. Waving the flag, of course.
Yeah, and the most important bit, if you do well enough, you get to come into the green room with us. Like, it's practically irresistible.
Toddy, he's out again. Yeah, it's be great to see Toddy come and wave the flag for Taipan Esports. Ben puts a lot of effort into running this series. It'd be great to see his team represented. And there's Peck here, still battling away. We might just keep an eye up in the front, see what's going on. Michael Whiting sitting in third, still reasonably being chased. He's got Jamie McKnight within a second behind him, and Matty Dench has pulled out to about a 1.5 second lead, with Blake a further 5 seconds up the road. So
I wonder when these guys are going to start, when we're going to start seeing some pit stops.
Can't be too far away.
And the other bit I'm actually curious about on a pit stop topic is, I wonder if anyone's ever going to try a reverse strategy to what we see. Like, we're always seeing everyone go as long as they can for the first two and play it out for the final stint. Wonder if we're ever going to see anyone that gets the pit stops out of the way nice and early, takes a punt that there's not going to be a safety car, because we have seen racers go green the whole way through before. If they go the other way around, try to undercut everyone so that when they're in the pits, they've got the clear track to come on through and nip it at the end.
That's right. And this is a nice wide circuit. And as we saw, Richie's wearing the Lederhausens and dancing, so last thing he wants to do is jump in the safety car and do a lap.
No, it would be quite breezy, I reckon, to say the least.
And we might just have a bit of a look at what's going on down towards the rear end of the grid. So Pecky has moved up 6 spots. So the man, the legend, Mark Peck, is up into P22. Darren Crosby's in P21. And you can see Pecky. Darren Crosby is right behind Troy Sipple and Ryan Van Ree. So good little effort. Some nice looking cars here. Big shout out to Mick Rush, the team boss of Scorpion Esports and the team car painter. There is a rumour going around, Nath, that there is a contract on the table for him to jump ship. Ooh. So if you think Mick Rush should jump ship, jump in the comments and let us know. We'll start spreading rumours here tonight.
Ooh, this man, these beers have gone straight to our head, haven't they? Gone straight to everyone's head.
Let's
Well,
have a
I'm
look.
curious. I'm interested. So jump on in and let us know what you think.
Let's have a look how Daryl Shannon's getting on. Darren still under a lot of pressure from Timmy Nichols. Timmy driving very well.
Well, we've had an interesting comment from Dave Baldock, hoping that Mark Peck, Mr. Pecky, doesn't block the pet exit again this week. So
We're actually under contract not to discuss that, Dave. Sorry, mate.
it's it'll be interesting.
So Darren Shannon up in 16th. Under a lot of pressure from Timmy Nichols, but we're fighting on really well here. And of course, further up the road, we've got Frank Hodak running down Nathan Gore. And Rob Carmichael, he's up 18 spots still our hard charger. Slowly bouncing back after the incident he had before.
Yeah, he'll have a lot of effort to do to get up to where he was. He was doing really well up until then, but that's a night of racing. Anything can happen.
Yeah. And Blair Van Ree is plugging along by himself. Plenty of air around either side of him. And Troy Mcguire still chasing down Harrison Dengate and Nicholas Loveridge. Scotty McCune from Hypersonic Racing in 7th. He's got a bit of air behind him as well, so he's doing all right. Paul Young from PRA, he's got 5 seconds up the road and 5 seconds back behind him. So it's interesting to see if he can maybe get some strategy to help him here. He might be doing some fuel saving or something. And Logan Barnett has dropped well back now. He's 4 seconds back from Jamie McKnight. So the real battle up the front of the group here is McKnight and Whiting, with Dench a further 3 seconds up the road. And Blake Warboys now is cleared out basically by 3.5 seconds.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting actually watching watching them all. Like they all started to separate sort of very quickly on, or very early on when the tyres were fresh, but everyone sort of plateaued off to a very similar sort of pace and getting into their rhythm very early on. There's not really been any huge movers out of this front pack. They're all sort of doing their own thing essentially.
So we might just jump back to the Maguire-Dengate battle. Have a quick look here. This seems to be where the only real close battle is in the top 20 at the moment. So Harrison looking to make a move on Nicola Loveridge here. We might...
Yeah, they're showing a bit of interest in one another, that they want to get ahead of. They want to get ahead and be leading this little pack that they got going, but at the same time, it's that whole question, that whole battle again of how much do you battle at this point to only have to work hard towards the end. They're certainly giving it a good go. But like you were saying earlier, with how fast and flowing this track is, watching the different lines and sort of jumping on board with some of these guys, they've all got a slightly different way of getting around this track, but they're all doing nearly virtually identical lap times. So just shows, like the old saying says, there's more than one way to skin a cat.
That's exactly right. And we've all gone... No one's pitted yet, so we're all running the long strategy here.
Yeah, well, I would imagine that purely based off the numbers, it's to bring out Larko's young apprentice again. Oh, young Harrison's making a little bit of a move here. They're going for a drag race down the straight, sorry. Didn't quite get the run, tucking back in. Turn one's going to be very interesting. What will H do? What will Nicholas do? Troy's in the box seat to capitalise if anything does happen.
Oof.
Oh, very close.
Starting to see a couple of pit stops happening with Hodak and Dumbrell going in. So you might have called it, Nath.
Yeah, well, based off the numbers, if they were to pit now, they're going to have one really long stint to get them the whole way home. So I wonder if it's a case of, that early on strategy trying to undercut, or if, just the tyres or the fuel is playing a huge factor with them.
Oh, he is absolutely squeezing everything out of it. It's Troy.
It's in particular for these three right now, especially as they're starting to battle. Oh, Harrison's having a big old look, and
Harrison, did he get tapped there?
Yeah, I think he might have just had a little tap. Troy doing the nice thing though, and letting him on through, not taking advantage of it. So just shows how hard that these boys are pushing, and again, just the respect that they have for one another, not to try and capitalise on something like that. So
just got to say, like, that just shows too the respect that these guys have all got amongst each other. That's one of the great things of this series is just that level of respect. They give each other room, and look after where they're going. We might just jump up the front and see how Michael Whiting's going in his battle here with Jamie McKnight, the People's Champion. Of course, Mick Rush, big fan of the People's Champion.
Yeah, I haven't had the People's Champion over the comms too much tonight, so I really must be focusing and trying to do the best he can to get towards the pointy end and minimise the battle between he and Blake. If Blake's out the front, Jamie wants to be in that second place to get as many possible points as he can.
As Toddy Haynes just said, the gap is coming down to the leader a little bit, so it's down to about 2.2 seconds. So it'd be interesting to see if Blake's fuel saving or if he is starting to get loose with his tyres. So we might just jump on board for a minute. Let's have a listen. Big fan of the old gyro cam.
Yeah, it's a good one. Looking at the lap times here, it's Blake sort of very consistent, but his times are just ever so slowly dropping off as the stint goes on. Was crazy quick at the start.
Just listening there, I think he might be in fuel save mode. It sounded like he clutched fairly early there coming into turn one.
Yeah, that would explain, especially if his tyres are starting to hurt. Yeah, no. Yeah, I think Matthew Dench must be pushing hard the whole way through because his times aren't dropping off quite in the same rate as to which Blake's are. So he'll be doing everything he can to try and get back at Blake. These pit stops are going to be very interesting. Those iRacing crews are going to have a lot of hard work to do.
They will. It's going to be very interesting, as we'll just see. As we're looking now, we've got a few more boys in the pits with Barnett, Maguire, Blair Van Ree, Darren Shannon, Rob Carmichael in the pits as well.
Well, we have made it to that critical lap 20 to be able to split the race into nearly even thirds, so...
You wouldn't be banking a little bit on a safety car still at this moment, though?
Yeah, well, that's an interesting word. To be honest, part of me was expecting, especially with what this track can produce around lap 1 and 2 around here, when everyone's so close together, I was expecting a little bit of carnage, especially through turn 1, and then the following sections are 3, 4, 5.
Well, boys is in.
Oh, he's come in. There you go, race leader is in. What's Matthew Dench doing? Matthew Dench is staying out for another lap.
Dench is going for one more.
McKnight is out as well. Whiting is out as well. What's Logan going to do?
And let's see what Paul Young does. Paul Young's going in. So we've got Dench, Whiting and McKnight have stayed out. Oof. That's interesting. Passing in pit lane. Is he allowed to do that one?
I don't know.
Don't know.
Might be a question for the dancing race control.
Nothing to see here. We'll just move on. How's Jamie McKnight going? Jamie's crossing behind Michael Whiting, and you can see Matt Dench far away in the corner.
Yeah, I wonder how long these two will go. I wonder if they've got enough fuel in the tank to do one more lap, or if they're going to follow suit and see what jump in after Blake comes out. And Blake, on a side note, is just leaving the pit lane now.
So I mean, see if these guys can get another lap. Like you said, if you're going to try and do it in one stop, one strategy.
Yeah, because it's quite a long pit lane here as well, so there's a lot of time that you lose just in transit, sitting on that pit lane speed limiter, waiting to get to your pit bay. Or depending on how soon your pit bay is, they're waiting to exit the pits as well, so... The other interesting thing is it does make turn 1 again very interesting, because you have a huge speed difference between the cars nearly bouncing off the rev limiter in 6th gear, and cars on cold, fresh tyres. Oh, sorry, Matthew Dench just coming into the pits, so he's committing to it. What do the two behind do? And the two behind following as well.
So where is War Boys? That is the question. He is sitting in 5th. Plenty of clear air around him.
Yeah, very critical. You're in lap and you're out lap at getting these last couple of positions.
And of course, in 4th at the moment is Andrew Archer. Let's see if Andrew goes in or if he's got enough fuel to go one more time.
Yeah, nah, he's coming in as well.
He's coming in as well. Right, War Boys. Let's have a look where Matthew Dench is. Still not rolling.
Blake's just entering onto the main straight now. Matthew Dench still in the pits. Blake might get him all here. I think he's comfortably going to get him.
And there goes Blake past now. And Dench rolling out. So War Boys is continued on. He's still going to be, I think by the time Matty Dench gets up to speed, 3 or 4 seconds ahead.
I think the undercut may have just worked slightly in Blake's favour there.
Thanks, Shane.
I think it might have.
So that'll be interesting to see what the drivers do and who takes note of it going into the second pit stop of the race.
And we might just jump up. McKnight did not get in front of Whiting, so that didn't change the order there. Nothing different. And Logan Barnett's further 5 seconds back. Sorry, and then Paul Young's 14 seconds back from this group. So no real major change to the order there either.
Yeah, so looking at this and keeping in mind with that whole undercut thing again, to break out Larko's board, we made it to about lap 20 and 21 here. So of the 58 lap race, if someone's going to try and undercut, if 21 laps or 22 laps is your absolute maximum, would you be if you're one of these front runners, would you be the guy that comes in on lap 37 to try and do the ultimate undercut on everyone? That would be the big question. Or do you play the really risk it for the biscuit game, come in on lap 36, hope that there's a late race safety car, and see if you can jump everyone and get the track position back that way?
It's a tough one, that one. it's a real tough call. Like, if there's a safety car, you could get caught out as well. That's the only other concern with that. But in saying that, like we talked about, that we don't think the safety cars are high probability on this circuit.
No, I reckon Richie's going to be dancing all night. He will. Be able to convince Ben to come out onto the floor with him too at this rate.
Yep,
the boys are very well behaved.
They're still out dancing, mate. I don't see them making any real calls at the moment for the safety car.
The only call they'll be using is what dance move are we going to use next? Is it left foot in or is it right foot out? What are we shaking all about? They just don't know.
And I've just got to say, Nath, we've just topped out our viewership. We've got 19 viewers tonight.
Come on, you gotta give me some room, dude.
Holy moly, that's nearly a PB for us.
It is.
Thanks to everyone for watching.
Sorry, man. I didn't realise I hit.
That's what Jake Burton said.
We might just tap that one there. So, not sure what's happened there for Troy Maguire. Harrison Dengate. We might just have a look. See if I can get a replay on that. No, that looked like a fairly clean pass to me. Let's keep watching here. Oh, Harrison squeezed out a bit there. That didn't go down too well.
It does explain a little bit of the chatter with the boys here, but shows how passionate they are.
Yep. And we'll go back to live pictures.
Sorry, Joe. We've just had we've had a little bit of insight from young Joshy that he doesn't reckon Rich can dance too well. So we'll give him A for effort, though. We will, Josh.
Good to see you watching again, Josh. Let's have a look through the pack and see what's going on. We've got another great little battle pack behind Rob Carmichael. So Blair Van Ree chasing him down. So Rob is up 18 spots at the moment. And we work our way back. We've still got this other pack here with Andrew Archer, Nathan Gore and Michael Dumbrell. So Michael's fighting his way back through the pack as well.
It's good seeing. I'm just having a look-see at the moment to see. So yeah, obviously Rob's doing the best job at hard charger at the moment, but I'm just having a quick look through to see who might be our number 2 on the podium for the hard charger. And
maybe Chris Ireland.
Yeah, Chris Ireland's gone from 32nd up to 22nd, so he's going to a nice solid 10 spots in the in those first stint.
So he's doing reasonably well.
Yeah, it's a good looking livery too. Nice and clean and tidy and well presented.
Going reasonably well. Another good looking livery. That's Ash down 13 spots, so not having a good night. We did see him have an off earlier.
Yeah, he got caught up in a bit of the early race incident, so good case of head down and bum up for Ash, trying to make the best of it that he can.
Nicely down in turn 1. Big cheer out for Ash from Mick Rush. Cheering on Ash doesn't stop you getting a penalty on Thursday nights, Mick.
Certainly worth a go though. He seems to be doing quite well, Ash. He's keeping the thing nice and square and tidy, so it'll be good to see how far back up he can make it. Probably one of the few men out there that are really looking forward to a safety car.
And I've just noticed Dave Garbutt had an off. We might just go have a quick look and see what's going on there.
Yep.
The old Dirty Pig replay. This might be the story we were talking about earlier about... No, he's just nicely stopped to let everyone through, like you said. Coming out of pit lane into turn 1's always never easy. Giving everyone plenty of room, good to see. And we might just jump back up to the lead pack here, see what's going on up front. Michael Whiting still being chased down by Jamie McKnight. These two have been close together all night.
Yeah, they're both doing very similar times. Michael Whiting is just a couple of tenths quicker purely based on that last lap than Jamie McKnight at the moment. So, however, that mightn't necessarily be an accurate representation because we know Jamie is fantastic at saving fuel. So if he's doing a little bit of fuel saving early on, just keeping these boys in front of him in sight, he might be playing the game nice and early.
Might be.
So, although interestingly up the front, the Matthew Dench is really starting to close in on Blake. He's for the last 2 laps been a couple tenths a second quicker. So certainly giving it a red hot go at trying to catch up to Blake.
Just going through a few of our comments. And yeah, Mick, you don't have to be fast to cause trouble in split 2. I can vouch for that. And thanks for dropping in, Mick. And Ben Anthony replying back to Mick that you need to do more than 3 laps to cause trouble. So I have a little chuckle to all that. If you are following along, feel free to drop in, leave a comment. Let us know how NATO's commentary is going. Let us know if we've been worthy enough to get off our L plates. We've almost cracked the big 2-0, so we're not far away from it now, I think.
Yeah, I think, yeah, if we manage to hit 20 viewers, I think that might be an automatic promotion, Johnny.
Could be.
I think we're getting there. So please, everyone, let your friends, family, work colleagues, everyone know. Let's hit that big 2-0. So it's good seeing this series grow, and it's good seeing it take off, and it's fantastic seeing everyone come in, week out, to come listen to us and come watch and see what their teammates can do and see what these boys can do. It's great to see.
Yeah, got a little battle pack forming just here. We've got Troy Sipple chasing down Ryan Van Reet with Darren Crosby and Chris Island right behind. So we've found where the action's at. We might follow these boys for a few minutes.
Yeah, it's good to see how close these guys are with how spread out this track is.
So Darren Crosby getting a good line there. Looks like Chris Island's trying to make a bit of a way through.
Yeah, the toe is a really big advantage in the straights along this track, but it's a big dive, and he gets it done nice and cleanly. Good move.
Some great driving there by the boys.
Chris saw his opportunity, and that's a big moment in the background. Darren just touched the dirt on the outside, really upset the car there. That certainly would have been nearly a heart-stopping moment for him there. And Chris on the move again, up the inside of Troy Sipple there, trying to see if he can nick another spot. Didn't quite get it done though.
And we just got a little bit of a request. We'll just wait for down the corner here. We'll see if Chris going again. Another big dive on Sipple here. He's definitely charging hard through here.
Yeah.
It's Chris Island.
There's a crisscross on though, pun unintended.
So
Gets it done.
Got a fan request. Let's go check on Mark Peck. The old Pecky Performance Racing. The big man himself. He's running in 23rd at the moment, up 5 spots from where he started. Doing a fairly great effort. The man, the myth, the legend. And Timmy Nichols is in P18, down 1 spot from his starting spot. Timmy doing reasonably well there. He's got plenty of room around him, so hopefully he can push on and try and catch the 6 seconds up to Darren Shannon from Emu. Yeah, I'd probably got to agree with that one too, Dave. Let's just have a look. Tyrone Anderson's crashed. Asparella's past Mark Peck, so I'm not sure what happened there. We might just have a quick look at that. Get back on the replay. And not winning tonight on that. Looks like a clean pass by Asparella.
Plenty of room from both boys, which is fantastic.
Yep, good to see. Yeah, I don't know what he's going to do, Dave, when they stop printing phone books. You kind of can't sit on a tablet and get the same height. It's all right, Daniel. We love you boys watching, so more than happy to go have a look what the boys are up to.
We can go.
Yes, it's always good checking in and seeing how everyone's doing throughout the night.
Let's jump back up the front. We'll check on Paul Young while we're here. Under all sorts of pressure from Harrison Dengate still.
Battle of the blue cars.
Of course, that's car's also very familiar looking to the boys at Vets, but I don't think you'd see that blue car in Vets behind Paul Young going that fast. Just saying.
I don't know, stranger things have happened.
So it looks like Harrison and Paul are going to have a good battle here. Have to keep an eye on that one. And the gap up the front now is closed to 1.2 seconds. So could be about to get into a very interesting phase of the race. And all I can say, Nath, is I'm thirsty. How you going?
So I'm getting a little bit on the thirsty side too. I am, Johnny. It's what have you got on offer?
Cheers, mate. Enjoy.
Cheers, beers. That's that is certainly going to help out. Oh, holy moly, it's gone to my head already. Diddly-dee.
And Mark Peck has been cautioned by race control for trying to bribe Thursday night race control by not passing him. Well, I got to say, Ben, there's a few boys in the chat you probably need to caution as well, because they've been trying to bribe Ash as well. So
it's and tonight's dedication of the stream goes to Ash and everyone wanting to get on his good side.
And of course, anyone from Vets out there that run in Split 2, don't forget to call him the radio controller. So Matty Dench is getting closer to Blake Warboys. This is going to turn into the next battle, I think. So it'd be interesting to see.
Certainly starting to close up.
And we've still got 28 laps to go, so there's still a long way to go here. Anything can happen.
Yeah, there's that lap 37, our critical number for this evening's final round of pit stops. So that's when the magic will start to happen with some of these boys. So it'll be good to. I'm excited to see how it's going to pan out. It's like the calm before the storm at the moment.
It is. It really is. Of course, Michael Whiting's a further 10 seconds back, so these two boys have cleared out. I don't know whether Whiting lacking pace or just working hard to keep the People's Champion behind him. And then Logan Barnett's dropped a further 15 seconds back. Is back a further 15 or so seconds after that. So stay with the nose cam here on the gyro on top of the roof. Good appreciation for the speed. Yeah. Good appreciation for the speed through those corners. Like we've been saying all night, this track really flows, which makes it hard work in the V8. Whoop. I've just been informed that Harrison Dengate got past Paul Young. Thought that might have been going to happen.
Building up for a while.
Blake using all the curbs there. We've got some lap traffic in front and Shane Ewan's coming up. It's hard to believe we've still got a long way to go here.
Yeah, it's certainly not we may be just past the halfway point for these guys, but it's certainly not over yet. Like 1 hour of racing into it. Could be another hour to go, especially if we get a safety car, dare I say it, at some point throughout it. I don't think we will. But anything is possible. Just takes one little mistake, one little battle that didn't quite go right, or one little iRacing glitch where it holds the car into the fence, and Richie might have to stop that dancing.
So Matty Dench, 0.3 seconds back behind Warboys. There's a big battle here. Big gap back to the P3. So can afford to block. But got to be careful. That traffic in there, you got to be careful not to damage the car. Got to look after your tyres, look after your fuel.
Here's a question for you, Johnny. What do you do if you're Matty Dench? You've shown that you've got some pretty good pace, and you've shown that you might be able to mix it up. Do you keep pressing on to try and get ahead of Blake, or do you sit there, try and save as much fuel as you can, and hope that the pit stop falls your way? Because we know Blake's very, very quick on that brand new tyre, but over the stint, Matty Dench seems to have that little bit of an edge. But it's one thing to be a little bit quicker; it's another thing to pass. So. What would you do, Johnny?
Oh, look, if it was me in Matty Dench's shoes, I'd be thinking to myself, we've still got 27 laps to go, 26 laps to go. If I can save some fuel, look after my tyres now, maybe I can try and overcut or make the call to undercut. Either way, I've got to put less fuel in at the next stop and hopefully have the speed in the car towards the end of the stint to come back at him and put the pressure on him and see if I can make a pass.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he decides, because as we know, Blake doesn't usually make too many mistakes at all, so it's not like he can rely on that in front of him. So I reckon it would certainly be the smarter move to try and save while you can and capitalise later on.
It's tough with these longer style races because you've really got to be alert of what's going on around you. Let's go have a quick look at Paul Young, mate. This has just been on the comms a little bit, so I'm not sure what's going on.
Yes,
Just a bit of passing, not sure what's going on there, but that's all right. Yeah, I reckon, Nate, if I was in Matty Dench's shoes, I think I'd just play the long game at the moment. I wouldn't be too interested in passing Blake. I'd just be hanging back, looking after the car, and then save it for the last 5 or 6 laps. But we'll find out. So Paul Young, he looks like he's moving reasonably well by himself. And up front, Harrison Dengate's by himself. Logan Barnett's got plenty of air around him. The People's Champion, he's dropped back a little bit from Michael Whiting, but I'd probably say he's doing what we're talking about and playing that longer game. That's pretty much right too, Dave. I would be thinking, what the hell am I doing in second place? If there's any consolation, Dave, I was just thinking what I would do if I was behind you, but that's all right.
Oh dear, this is great interaction from you guys on the chat line tonight. This is quality.
Loving it. The PRA boys are out to play.
Get a couple beers into them whilst we're in Germany, and yeah, it's on for young and old.
So yeah, Matty, these boys, yeah, still going toe to toe, and still having to deal with a bit of traffic as well. Don't be sorry, Dave. I'm not. Just, as Nate said, it's great to have these boys on the chat. It makes our job a lot easier. And we do it so that everyone can watch and enjoy it. So I'm glad everyone's enjoying what we're doing. So
yeah, that's certainly certainly good knowing that everyone's getting a good kick out of it, and yeah, especially having the interaction of you boys and girls in the comments. It certainly throws a quite an entertaining spanner in the works. Yeah, one little pack that we got that's sort of quite close at the moment is Nathan Gore, Andrew Archer, and Michael Dumbrell. They seem to be all not battling and going hell for leather, but they're all certainly very, very close, and anything could happen at any point in time.
Going.
They're all very, very similar lap times throughout here.
it is, and it looks like Ash is off in front there. Did you see that?
Oh no, I just missed that.
Got to go. That was We've caught him out again. Young Ash coming in to turn one, and around and around and around she goes. And of course, here comes our race leaders. Almost reverses into him. Ash providing the action.
That was very, very close. That was.
It'd be interesting to see how you call that one into race control. So yeah, this battle here is really continuing on quite well.
Yeah, I've been keeping one eye on these two boys up the front, and there's a couple. Blake's definitely pushing hard to keep the lead because he's using all of the track like we saw earlier, and there's a couple of times he just dropped the wheel or he just didn't quite get the run he wanted, and Matthew nearly had the run to take the lead, but Blake has managed to hold him off, so it's going to be on for this final stint at Will. We're getting close to that lap 35 as well, Johnny. Lap 37.
Yeah, it's coming. And old Richie with the face plant in the comments.
So I must be taking a break from his dancing.
And Logan Barnett's had enough as well. We might have a quick look what happened there. Which has allowed Harrison Dengate to get past him. So we are getting towards the end of these stints. I think the tyres are starting to go, and that's a big switchback. Keeps it on the black stuff though, keeps it starting, keeps it rolling, keeps it out of everyone's way. That's good to see. So we go back to live pictures. So McKnight has caught up to Whiting a little bit, but these boys are still 3 seconds back. Matty Dench is really right up behind Warboys now.
Yeah, there is not much between them at all. Blake will need to do everything perfectly to be able to keep Matthew behind him, and while Matthew's been sitting there fuel saving, I reckon that especially now that we're getting close to this pit stop window, my money's on that if he has a sniff at being able to pass, I reckon he'll do it.
Blake looking a little bit twitchy there.
You've slightly beaten me to the punch there, Rich. We haven't seen Blue Shirt Guy anywhere around yet, but I have been on the lookout for a new pit reporter this week, and he's shall we say it'll be one to remember.
Here we go, going up the inside. Have a look. Doesn't quite have the legs.
Quite there. There we go. I reckon that's
It's coming.
Yeah, Matthew's certainly looking for any opportunity to get ahead of Blake now.
Got a nice toe coming down here into turn 1, pulls out of the slipstream, thinks about under brakes, tucks back behind. Brake a little bit deep there from Blake. Blake on the inside, run into the next corner, holds it out. Nice and tight. This is some great driving. Trying to maximise the road, can't quite get the quick run out of the corner.
Yeah.
Blake defending on the inside there as we go through forward curve.
Matthew's certainly putting the pressure on him.
Logan Barnett's had an off. Might just quickly have a look what's happened to Logan, back in 8th spot.
Oh, he's stuck on the track. Yeah, turn 1 is it? I think it's turn 1.
As we come down in turn 1, Paul Young behind him. So, he's lost control. Logan tyres are going at the end of the stint here. Yep, he's just waiting for traffic. Definitely doesn't look like it's stalled. Looks like he's just waiting for everybody. Gets it going again.
And just sort of watching him a little bit, yeah, he's really struggling with those rear tyres now that he's got the thing going. So, A for effort for pushing so hard, but I think his tyres are screaming out saying, hey, give us a break, but they're nearly there. Nearly able to make it stop.
Matty Dench going wide there. That hurt him a little bit.
But that's a little bit of a breather that Blake would be after going into this final pit stop.
That's definitely allowed Blake to get away a little bit, but you can see the tyres are absolutely hurting on both cars.
Well, we're here, Johnny. We're up to that critical lap number.
That is the magic
lap number 37.
We might just go for a quick run down the pack, have a look. We've got Michael Dumbrell, and we go back to the TV cam. Michael Dumbrell is chasing down Andrew Archer and Nathan Gore. These boys have been battling together all night. This has been a really great fight amongst these guys. And the other close pack we've got running is Troy Sipple, Ryan Van Ree, and Darren Crosby. So these guys are all still close together, running really well. And the other close one we've got is Nathan Cook trying to run down Toddy Martin from Scorpion Esports. And we still want 2 more viewers, so we need to get there. Drive-through penalty for Dave Baldock's been the call. Heard that one before plenty of times. And Logan Barnett still having some tyres issue. I wouldn't be surprised if Logan's in this lap. It looks like his rear tyres are shot. Which, of course, going to allow a hard charger of Robbie Carmichael. Up another spot. Yep. Those tyres are not good. And we might just jump up, check out how McKnight's going. So McKnight, the people's champion. And he is still sitting a second back from Michael Whiting. He seems to have sat there for most of the evening.
Sorry, just a quick check-in. Our leaders have stayed out for one more lap, so they're going at it around again. No one's trying the undercut just yet.
And Matt Dench is now back up again to 0.3 of a second underneath. So this is an epic battle. This is going to be a very close finish, I think. It's going to come down to who has saved the most fuel and who has looked after their tyres the best during the mid-stint. So we still have 20 laps to go before we get to the checkered flag. It's been all green flag racing tonight. We do have a car stopped though. Let's have a look. Logan Barnett's off in the grass. Will he get it going? He's facing the wrong way, so it says he's waiting for traffic again. Poor old Logan. The tyres would well and truly be shot, I think. So that's probably not the way he wanted to end his night. He's missing the bonnet there as well, so I'm not sure exactly what happened.
I think looking at some of that grass, he may have, may have actually hit the tyre barrier. But I wonder if he's worked them so hard that if iRacing's simulating a pop tyre.
Yeah, he's whacked the tyre barrier. Well and truly. Poor old Logan.
Yeah, so
of course.
He's nearly at the pit lane though, so hopefully he can make this last set last the whole way through till the end of the race.
Interesting to see.
Oh no, he's crashed again in the entry into pit lane.
Oh no, poor old Logan. And of course, I think that was our pole sitter. So a bit of lap traffic now. Blake peels off. Dench goes one more. So Blake going through the undercut.
Yes, and in he goes in. Oh, he nearly loops it as well going into pit lane. This will be very interesting.
It will be. Also, have a look. We've got a chain of cars. He's got 3 cars in front of him of lap traffic to deal with this lap as well. So will that lap traffic cost him time?
Yeah, maybe it could have been the smart call by Blake to, if he's seen that traffic, decided to peel on in.
So Troy Sipple gets out of the way quickly. Next lap car is Ryan Van Ree, who's fighting very hard there with Darren Crosby still. They've been having a great battle all day. So lap traffic starting to become a feature in this race. And Matty Dench, our race leader, is coming up behind lap traffic of Ryan Van Ree.
Okay, and Blake is just out of the pits and having a quick look. He seems to be in some relatively clear air. He's got Scotty McCune in front of him, but no one else really in front of him apart from that. So this will be very interesting from Blake with the call and see how Matthew reacts on the way in.
So Dench, Van Ree getting the blue flag, gets out of the way there. So Matty Dench moving through. Jamie McKnight's also caught up a bit on Michael Whiting again. You see if Matty Dench goes into the pits this time by. No, he doesn't. He keeps going.
He stays out one more. Wow, that's
interesting.
Very interesting.
And he's still dealing with this lap traffic with Darren Crosby in front now. So we can see if Darren gives him some room at the end of the straight. And some clear air. And Darren Shannon and Blair Van Ree have pitted as well. So it'll be interesting to see here how we go in terms of War Boys coming in 2 laps earlier than the rest of the pack. Obviously feels comfortable trying to get the car home with 18 laps.
And Blake's having a good old battle with Scotty McCune, so he's Scotty's just peeled into the pits, so Blake now has a little bit of clear air. Scotty's coming in to get a new set of boots. It's all happening.
So Blake's got plenty of clear air now. Next car in front is Paul Hayes, which is a lapped car at the other end of the Mercedes arena. And Harrison Dengate's in the pits. Paul Young's in the pits. Scotty McCune is in the pits now. And Rob Carmichael has come into the pits. So basically, Blake Warboys and Matthew Dench is where the battle is at. Let's have a quick look at our pit strategies. So we can see there that Dench and Whiting have gone, and McKnight have gone an extra lap over Warboys. Dengate's gone a bit further. So we're starting to see our second stops.
Yeah, wow, Matthew Dench has gone one more lap.
Maybe he was listening when we were talking, that sit behind and save fuel. I might have called that one earlier.
Yeah, it's certainly, well, we've seen some guys that have really, really big tyre struggles as the stint's gone on, so it's kind of makes sense really to stay out as long as possible and try and have a good set of tyres left over. Yeah, good set of tyres left over to be able to bring it home with the best possible lap times as you go. And yeah, you save that lap time, but I do hear that our pit reporter is all wired up. He's been watching all the action go in here. F1 superstar Sebastian Vettel, how's it going down there, mate? Yeah, it's been very, very good and interesting down here, mate. Certainly no 2-second pit stops like I've seen down here. These supercar things seem to be a long time coming, but these tyres down to wire, mate. There's nothing really left over down here on these. Straight to the scrappers. Get some value for your scrap metal. Seb out. Thanks, mate. That's a good to see that you're down here. I'm sorry that we can't perform to the F1 level, but our iRacing pit crews give it the best go that they can. So we'll catch you for your beer afterwards, Seb. No worries, mate. I'll drink you under the table. Cheers, mate.
Oh, thank you for that one.
Cheeky Seb.
And Matty Dench coming up through the chicane. Thank you, Ben. And Dench is in. Matty Dench is in this lap.
In he goes.
In he goes. So you can see what Whiting and McKnight are up to next. So we might just drop back here. Looking very loose there. Michael Whiting, he's faked it. He's bluffed.
Wow.
He did the bluff on using Troy Siffel. He did the bluff for Jamie McKnight, but Jamie stayed out. The people's champion. The V8 veterans legend. The most winningest races in V8 veterans did not fall for that trick.
This will be interesting to see what Jamie can do. If he's been playing this fuel save game the whole entire time, I'm very keen to see what very interested to see what Jamie can do for this final stint.
Well, as Warboys comes through, let's have a look where Dench is now. Dench is rolling. Here comes Warboys. Dench has got him. The extra 2 laps has paid off. Great work by Matty Dench.
Yeah, not just by a little bit as well. That's a huge gap. Blake's going to have to work very, very hard to be able to get this race win back off of him.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens from here. So, congratulations, Matty Dench. Great fuel strategy there. Obviously wasn't Nathan's pit commentator.
Yeah, it's. I don't think I'll be taking Seb's advice moving forward. It's. The only good advice he had was, let's get on the beers.
No, that was Uncle Dan.
All the people are starting to merge together after the table service we've been getting all evening.
Yes.
All going to me head.
And there's more coming.
Oh, bring it all on.
The Oktoberfest 300 is coming towards the end.
I think I'll still be sore by Christmas time.
So, as we come through our second round of pit stops, the field's starting to settle down a little bit. We still have Knight coming in now and Whiting coming in as well. So we'll see where these boys roll out. But the big talking point from the second round of pit stops is Matthew Dench, 3 seconds ahead of Blake Warboys.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how soon Matthew pushes to try and get that gap in relation to trying to keep his tyres lasting towards the end of the stint. Because like we've spoken about, tyres have been more the talking point than fuel this week. Because they just drop off so quickly from the looks of it at the end of it. And yeah, we saw a few casualties as a result of it. So Logan being the unfortunate one that's lucked out on a lot of it. So
that's a substantial lead.
Yeah, most definitely. And we've got Michael Whiting just coming out now, Ryan Van Ree. Nearly lapped out. Ryan Van Ree's popped out in the middle of Jamie and Michael there.
Interesting. Ryan, of course, to be under a blue flag.
Well, we've hit the fun part of the night. No more fuel saving, no more worrying about strategy. We've hit the sprint race side of the evening to see who can bring it home and who's got the best of the fatigued legs of the fatigued arms and what we can do in this final stint.
It's going to be really interesting to see McKnight, whether he can get past Whiting. He's played the tailgate game all night, so whether he's been strategically sitting there or whether he's been not had the pace. We're about to get the answer on that one. Of course, Harrison Dengate and Troy Maguire have been going toe-to-toe as well. And Paul Young from PRA is nicely holding that 7th spot, so interesting to see if he can come home where he is. And we've just had an incident. Frank Hodak's had a crash. Let's go to the Dirty Pig replay and have a look what's happened.
Yep.
Oh, coming too hot there. We've smoked it. And around we go. Lucky Blair Van Reed didn't hit him in the back there. And we'll go back to live pictures. So, McKnight chasing there. We'll have a quick look. Warboys, he's closed the gap a little bit. It's getting down now, just around still that 3 second mark. Lap traffic's going to be a factor, I think, for this last stint.
Yeah, well, there's 2/10 was the difference that lap between.
Big spin of Nathan Cook in the background there.
Oh,
might
no,
just have a quick look.
Wanted at all.
Let's just have a quick look and see if Cookie's been tapped or not. I don't think he was. Got Paul Hayes behind him. I've got a feeling he's lost it on his own merit. Oh, no, Paul's clipped him.
Oh dear.
The Scorpion Esports driver just clipped him up the inside there. That'll keep race control off the dance floor for a few minutes.
Yes, that's. I'm sorry, sorry crowd, but race control are going to have a look-see at that one. But we had Cookie's. We might have an angry Cookie out on the track. A Cookie monster, shall we even say? See what he can do to get back and see how much time he can make up towards the closing stages.
Yeah, Matty Dench now cleared out to 3.9 seconds. Joshy Varela with the big call that Blake's going to win. Love his confidence.
Certainly love a good bit of optimism, and I'll tell you what, Blake will give it his all to try and do it, but he's also still smart enough to realise that a second place is certainly much better than making a mistake and ending up a lot further down the grid. So
Oh, that's right. When you start thinking the championship game, he's got Jamie McKnight 2 spots back in 4th. So he's second with a gap in the middle. Will increase the point lead. And guess what, Nath?
what's that, Johnny?
We're off the L plates.
Oh, we made it to the P plates, have we?
Yep. We've got 22 viewers at the moment.
Splendid. Oh, we'll be on the green P plates before we know it at this rate.
So if you are one of our 22 viewers, feel free to jump in the chat, say g'day, rate Nathan out of 10 on his commentary.
And while you're at the rating, rate young Seb in the pit lane as for his pit reporting out of 5. So some may confuse him for Kimi Raikkonen's love child, but that's up for the German crowd to decide there.
So Blake Warboys is now 4.4 seconds, so I reckon Matty Dench is clearing out here. I reckon, like I said, Blake's thinking the long game. And let's just have a look. Everyone's quite well spread out at the moment. So Jamie McKnight is the second behind Michael Whiting. And that's the battle for 3rd and 4th. And Harrison Dengate is in clear air by himself in 5th. In 6th is Troy Maguire. He's travelling reasonably well too, with a fair bit of clear air around him. Paul Young from PRA, big shout out to the PRA boys. And Scotty McKeon, he's got some clear air around himself as well, with Nicholas Loveridge back there in the background. And our hard charger up 20 spots, Rob Carmichael. He's got plenty of clear air around him. He's 11 seconds up the road from Nicholas Loveridge and 13 seconds up the road from Blair Van Ree. Have a quick look at Blair, just make sure he hasn't changed into a Mustang. Frank Hodak, travelling really well in 12th, and Andrew Archer in 13th. So these two boys are still fairly close. So Andrew keeping the pressure on Frank there. Nathan Gore's a further 3 seconds up the road. And behind Nathan, we've got Michael Dumbrell. So Michael in the Hypersonic Racing team entry. He's had a few battles tonight, I think. Darren Shannon from EMU Racing. He's another one travelling reasonably well with a bit of air around him. Timmy Nichols from Pecky Performance Racing in 17th. So the field's fairly spread out at the moment, with not too many battles. And then Darren Crosby from M1 Racing, doing reasonably well. Ryan Van Ree from WK&P in 19th, 20th. We have our mate Troy Sipple from Scorpion Esports. Ash Barella is down 10 spots in 21st. Doing reasonably well for race control. I don't think he'd tell you about being down 10 spots. The man, the myth, the legend, Mark Peck. It's good to see him out there. Still circulating. He's up 6 spots from where he started in 22nd. Toddy Martin, another one of the Scorpion boys. He's doing really well in 23rd. He's up 2 spots. Dave Garbett, he's still circulating, doing well in 24th. No, Dave's lost a spot, but he's still going. Paul Hayes is up 6 spots from where he started, circulating in 25th. Cookie's had a few spins, but he's still going, which is good to see. And Michael Stewart still circulating as well, one of the other Hypersonic Racing boys. I think Michael had a few incidents early on, so he's recovered from that. I believe he had a pit lane penalty at one stage. Chris Ireland still going in 28th. No, Logan Barnett's off the track as well. Shane Ewans is in the pits. Tyrone Anderson's in the pits as well. So we'll go back up, have a look what's going on at the front. 5.6 seconds now is the gap between Warboys and Dench. So the field's really quite spread out. And Matty Dench doing really well here. Looks like he's going to walk away with this one, I think, Nath.
Yeah, he's certainly put the hammer down, hasn't he? And he's not looked back at all. He's just taken it to a whole nother level. He's just sort of quietly flying under the radar, sort of making his presence known, not showing his entire hand. And coming into this final stint, he's just absolutely taken off. So certainly very good. Like, go from third place on the starting the grid tonight up to first at this point in time. It's and to keep this sort of pace this late in the race, fantastic job. But not over though. We still got about 10 laps to go. So yeah, we've just got to really concentrate on keeping it clean and tidy and seeing what he can do to bring it home. But yeah, our hard charger, Mr. Rob Carmichael, he's doing quite well as well. He's up 20 spots from 30th into 10th and quite comfortably sitting there. So,
And of course, I've just been given official confirmation from race control that the hard charger is not allowed to start from the back of the grid. So that changes the story a little bit.
ooh, that's an interesting plot twist.
It is. It is. So that means our hard charger is Mr. Andrew Archer at the moment. He's up 8 spots. So Andrew's doing really well. It's nice of race control to throw in a end of race twist.
Yeah, almost like watching the block or something like that.
So sorry to all the fishy fans that have been getting excited. We apologise.
It's we'll have to get Rob to all the fishy boys. Tell Rob that he needs to comment on the stream. That can be his that can be his consolation prize. Yeah, we haven't had any real big movies or shakers or anything like that. We've had Darren Crosby's come up 6 spots. Where else we got Troy Sipples, but come up 6. Pecky's come up 6. Paul Hayes has come up 6. There's a lot of guys that have come up 6 spots. Having a quick look through the field.
The real battle. The real battle is Frank Hodak. Can Frank Hodak get past Andrew Archer to have 2 blokes as the hard charger?
Oh, this would be a the plot thickens as the race goes on. That'd be I don't think we've come across this situation yet, have we, Johnny?
I don't think we do.
Did. No, we didn't. We didn't early on. We had a few close calls, but yeah.
Let's have a look, see how young he's getting on. Sitting in 7th. He's 2 seconds behind Troy Mcguire, and he's 6 seconds up the road from Scotty McCune. Looks like he's going to nicely get himself a good top 10 finish tonight, provided he can keep it on the black stuff.
Yeah, the concentration levels of these guys are going to be high, especially the ones that have had a few near misses with the end of tyre life in the first and second stint. So, to be honest, if I was out there right now and I had those few scary moments, I'd be nervous going into this final stint. Bit of fatigue kicking in, bit of pushing hard to try and keep your championship battle alive, but also hoping that those rear tyres don't have any issues.
So, just out of curiosity, what just happened to Troy Maguire? He's going to go to the replay here, see how young he passed him. I got a feeling there might be some technical gremlins creeping in as well. So I didn't see a pass in that.
Yeah,
So
I can't see him on track.
He's bouncing around everywhere. I've got him in 6th at the moment.
Yeah, now I've got him. Yeah, he's might be having a little bit of a bad internet connection temporarily.
Makes life a bit tricky. You see Paul Young in the background there. Let's have a quick check of Harrison. So Harrison's running around by himself. He's 21 seconds up the road from Troy Maguire.
Yeah, it's good. Young H has managed to get his way back up into the same place that he started tonight of 5th. So very solid effort to keep chipping away at it and maximise his points that he's coming away with for
Oh,
the.
Troy
the
Maguire
team.
off the track there. I don't know if you just saw that down in the bottom of our footage. So Youngie's starting to catch up a bit more. So gap's down to a second. So 6th spot might be up for grabs shortly. Jamie McKnight still 1.5 seconds behind Michael Whiting. Will we have McKnight get into 3rd and join us in the common box at the end of the race?
Yeah, the Mr. McNuggets.
If you're following along on the chat, let us know if you want to hear from Mr. McKnight at the end.
Yeah, I reckon he'll be trying his best to, especially if he's got one ear in our commentary stream again. I reckon he'll be trying his best to try and get in and make that podium again, just to have a chat.
So that's a very good question, Dave. I'll answer that one. There is myself, and then in this race there is Blair and Ryan, both my nephews, and the newest driver in vets is Herman, who's my brother. So, and Ryan and Blair's dad. So that's the answer to that. Probably too many.
Yeah, well, Roy had a guess of 18 of them on iRacing, so.
Rob Carmichael's come off.
Ooh, that's interesting. I wonder if he's starting to hit.
He's cooked it there. Managed to pull it up. I'll leave how many Smiths are on iRacing. I'll leave that one to Roy to answer for you, Ben. And let's have a look, see how Jamie's going. Jamie's still fighting hard. He's still that 1 second behind. So we've got 7 laps to go. So it'll be time to see if any of these boys are going to start making some big moves. And of course, Andrew Archer, our hard charger, he's still doing all right. Frank Hodak, a further second behind him.
Yeah, I've been keeping one eye on these two here to see if we're going to have 1 or 2 hard charges put in, and they're both doing very, very similar lap times they are each lap, so I don't know if that's going to change or not, but still 8 laps to go, 16 minutes, anything's possible.
So McKnight trying to chase down Michael Whiting. I don't think he's going to be able to reel him in tonight. I think this is going to be the one that gets away.
Well, the one, even though he's dealing with some lap traffic,
We'll jump back
the guys. Yeah, Matthew Dench has pulled out to a very, very convincing lead. He has.
Yeah, he's gone. Gornsky.
And he's still pressing on very, very hard. He is Mr. Dench. He's been still in the 1 minute 59. That lap's dropped. I reckon it was because a little bit of the lap traffic. Dropped back into the 2 minutes that lap. But yeah, 1 minute 59 is relatively consistently for Mr. Dench, which is a very, very good effort. And Blake's so close to it. He's sitting at like 2 minute point ones for nearly the last 5 laps. So, Mr. Consistent, Mr. Warboys.
Some very consistent driving. It looks like Troy has got away again from Paul. So whatever the technical issues were, it might have been corrected. McKnight now starting to close in on Whiting again.
Jamie can get that little bit closer and get a little bit of an advantage from that toe, we might have a ripper battle to bring in the final places on the podium. Yeah, young Harrison's doing well, just sort of sitting back there and enjoying that clear air. No one sort of 20 seconds either side of him.
Yep. Fifth spot will see him pick up quite a few points in the championship.
Yeah, it'll most certainly help out his championship campaign there.
And of course, it's getting tight at the top as we get closer to the Bathurst 500 to end our series.
That'll be one that I'm sure that these boys will certainly have to put a lot of time, effort and energy into, to one, for the setups, but also two, for the endurance and the stamina that these guys are going to need to be able to race for that long. And like from that little bit of experience from the weekend, to share a driving spin of into 500 Ks with someone, it was absolutely exhausting. Like, but that was all, like Blake and I are sharing one in, one out, one in, one out. Like, but to do 500 kilometers on your own, that's going to be there's going to be some sore boys the next day, I'll tell you what.
They're definitely going to take a lot of concentration, a lot of effort.
And even for from our physical world, there's it's going to be a lot of physical fatigue as well, and a lot of fitness that they're actually going to have to put into it just to try and survive the whole thing.
And don't have to worry about us, Dave. We're looking after ourselves. This is the Oktoberfest 300, as we said. Very well lubricated.
I don't think I've had this much beer in my life.
And of course, we have 5 laps to go. And Maguire and Young, what's happening there? We might go back and have a quick look. We might change the camera as well. So, dealing with a little bit of lap traffic by the looks as they go past Ash Barella and Nathan Cook. So these boys are travelling reasonably well. But we still really only have 2 close battles on track, which is the McKnight Whiting and Andrew Archer and Blair Van Ree. So Andrew is pushing up, our hard charger. Might be looking to pick up one more. Be looking to try and take the scalp of Blair.
Yeah, I reckon he'll give it slowly, like you were saying, just slowly chipping away. There's going to be a good chance that he can nick one more spot here.
I'll tell you what, Frank Hodak's probably thinking he's going to get a spot too, looking at that. All the more reason, Roy, why we need to get James up and running in the series before we get to Bathurst, so we can count as a driver.
Yeah, it'll be very good to see James jump onto the scene. I'll be certainly looking forward to that.
We might have a look, Michael Whiting, McKnight. That gap is closing down now. Looks like he is probably planning it, like we said, attacking the last 4 laps.
I reckon his real driving force is he wants to come in for a chat.
He always loves to come in for a chat, we know that.
Yeah, we're on a different note. We've had a number of cars, even with how sort of spread out this track is, a number of cars go down
Chastanoof.
1 lap down.
Dave? Chastanoof. That's my best attempt anyway.
Not gonna lie, I'll have a bit of respect and not even attempt it. There will that's a tongue twister, especially with the amount of beer that we've had.
Yeah, that is the problem too, Dave. So this is our close battle, and then we've got the Hodak Archer Van Ree battle. These are our 2 close battles. So read down the field as we go through into the last 5 laps. We've got Matty Dench in the lead. who's 8 seconds up the road from Blake Warboys. He's a further 11 seconds up the road from Michael Whiting, who we've got on screen here with Jamie McKnight, half a second behind. This is our closest battle. 22 seconds back down the road, we've got Harrison Dengate, a further 23 seconds back, Troy Maguire, who 2.5 seconds behind him is Paul Young from PRA. Scotty McCune from Hypersonics, 8 seconds back. Nicholas Loveridge is a further 1.5 back, just being lapped. And Rob Carmichael rounds out our top 10, 12 seconds back from then. So just watching the numbers closely here. So we might just jump back down and have a look at the Hodak Archer Van Ree battle.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to close up, these boys.
So you should keep an eye on that one. McKnight's back to 0.3 seconds, so it's just don't know where to look at the moment.
Yeah, they're very good at doing that, these boys, aren't they? Right at the last second. Sort of, they're spread out for the whole race, then yeah, right at the last second they bunch up and make it real difficult for us.
Thanks, Roy. I would have liked to have thought you would have let my specialist pit reporter break that news, but that's all right. Sounds like Chasty's joined the East Coast Series, so that's great to see.
I do like the enthusiasm from Roy here. He might keeps this up. He might get a gig as a pit lane reporter.
Oh, I missed that. Andrew Archer on the move here, all over the back of Blair. And we might just have a quick look at the McKnight battle again. That's getting even closer. Very surely. We'll stick to these boys for another lap. They're really bunched up. I wonder whether Blair Van Ree's tyres are probably shot. League invite sent, so it is happening. It is happening. There's a league invite on the table. Oh, Blair goes a bit deep.
Oh, all boys go a little bit fishy through there, so...
I'll tell you what, these PRA boys are becoming our number one ticket holders. Great. So Youngie's 1.8 seconds behind Troy Maguire, so he hasn't made any inroads there. It looks like Andrew Archer's trying around the outside. This is a great little battle here.
Yeah,
Andrew A gets the job done. Does Hodak have a crack as well?
Players tucking back in.
So, of course,
Such
Andrew
a tricky
Archer
one at this point of the race.
up 9 spots now, so that's our hard charger. And I'll probably say that Hodak will be through any second here. Might just stick with this for a second.
Yeah, Blair's trying to do his best to hold him off, but the other two boys just have that little bit more pace over him at the moment.
And we might just jump back up and check on McKnight. Whiting battle for third. So these boys are still toe to toe with 3 laps to go.
He's got closer, but doesn't really look very threatening at the moment, does he, Jamie?
No, I just don't know whether he's got the pace to actually get the job done. Which will be
like we were
interesting.
saying, it's one thing to catch up, it's another thing to be able to overtake, so... But he has got plenty of experience, so anything is possible.
So we might just quickly jump on board and have a look how our race leader's going. Haven't given him much airtime in this last part of the stint, unfortunately, but when you're 9 seconds up the road, there's not much to talk about. So young Matty Dench doing really well here on the penultimate lap. He has done such a great job here. He kept the pressure on War Boys. He went longer in that second stint. Managed to get the jump in the pits and has really shown the pace that deserves P1.
Yeah, he's really put all of it together and played the right cards at the right time tonight. like you were saying, like he had a very solid, like P3. That's always a very solid qualifying result. He kept his nose clean throughout all of it. He didn't do anything silly when the boys were battling early on. He just chipped away at it when he could. He let Blake know that he was right there the whole entire time, and we know that Blake's certainly not an easy competitor to pass, and Matthew was showing plenty of respect from that point of view and not throwing it away, and he's getting the reward for it now, so it's certainly have been a very, very good drive, it has.
It has. He's got to be really proud of what he's done tonight.
Mm.
And Blake Warboy's in second, probably looking after the championship. It's probably going through his mind. He's got a very good interval back to Michael Whiting, back in third, who still has Jamie McKnight within a second behind him. But probably say that he's very used to that by now because it's been that all night. And then back behind Jamie, we have young Harrison in fifth. I think it's probably been a great drive from Harrison. He's kept himself on the track and kept his nose clean. And it's probably good to see. Keeps his championship alive as well. Troy Mcguire is up one spot, still being chased down by Paul Hayes. So Paul's still 1.4 seconds behind him, but it'd be interesting to see if Paul can get up that next step there. He's running out of laps as we're on the white flag lap now.
Yeah.
And Paul Young we'll talk about. Scotty McCune doing really well, up 8 spots. Sorry, up set 1 spot in 8th. And then Nicholas Loveridge doing really well. He's had a good drive tonight for 9th. Rob Carmichael, our not hard charger, but he's up 20 spots starting from the rear of the grid. So that's a great drive by Rob. Fishy,
and that'll certainly help out his championship too.
The Fishy fan club should be pretty happy about that, as he's done really well there. And the only other real battle we've got going on, of course, was Blair Van Ree and Andrew Archer. These guys have been going toe-to-toe for a fair portion of the last part of this race. And they should be really proud of how they're going. It's a good drive by Blair to be up in P12. Starting to get used to his new setup, I believe. But what we might do is, sitting just behind these guys, of course, is our race leader, Matthew Dench. Outstanding drive, fantastic effort. He has put the pressure on Blake Warboys during the middle section of the race, kept that pressure on him, managed to conserve fuel, managed to go 2 laps longer, got the overcut done convincingly by 3 or 4 seconds. We thought he probably would struggle with that due to the fact he had lap traffic in front of him. Lap traffic did not become the factor. Matty Dench, stand up, mate. You've done well. You deserve this one. You
Fantastic,
are the winner
right,
of the Oktoberfest 300. Congratulations, buddy.
So, there will be a celebratory beer or two afterwards for you, Matty.
And second,
Great race.
over the line, Blake Warboys, our championship leader, and Michael Whiting coming in third. It's taken all the pressure from McKnight. McKnight not able to make a dent on Warboys in the championship tonight, but still keeps it tight at the top. And then coming home in fifth, young Harrison Dengate. Great drive from the young fella. Consistent drive. Stayed out of trouble most of the evening. Should be pretty happy with that, I reckon. Take that one, Harrison.
Yeah, fantastic drive from the young fella.
And then coming home next is Troy Maguire. Great effort from Troy. Oop, a bit slow coming out. Is he out of fuel? He's out of fuel. Youngie's going to get him. He's out of fuel.
Oh, it's going to be close. I had a little bit of my moment going into the chicane, but
is Youngie going to get him here? No, he's not. So not sure what happened there. Might have missed a gear or something. So Maguire, Young, next to come home, Scotty McCune. Great drive by Scotty to get home in the top 10, finishing 8th. You take that one. Another great drive from Nicholas Loveridge, up 6 spots. Rob Carmichael coming home in 10th. With Ash Barella behind him there in 21st. And here we got Andrew Archer, our hard charger,
That's the official hard charger of the evening. Ooh, what's happened to Blair in there?
I don't know. We'll go to the Dirty Pig replay. Oh. Hodak coming up the inside. Big dive. Blair's just locked it up himself there, I think, unfortunately.
A little bit of round and round the merry-go-round.
A little bit. And that's pretty much everybody home. So congratulations to everybody.
Yes, that was a very clean and good night's racing, that was.
It was. We've just got to basically say to ourselves that is a great effort.
Yeah, and the other very good effort for the evening is, look at how much beer we've drank. It's fantastic, and we're still talking.
Ah, the Oktoberfest 300. Never disappoints. And yep, we'll just wait for our boys to come in. We might grab our second place guy who's already in the green room, Mr. Warboys. Mr. Warboys, P2.
Blake.
Hey guys.
How's it going?
Oh, a bit hot and sweaty. Not bad otherwise.
Not bad. What happened, mate? You seem to have lost the legs in the second split.
Having a lot of computer issues tonight, actually. A lot of stuttering through all the slow speed corners, so it was actually hard to pick my apexes and stuff. So once Matt sort of come out in front in that last stint, yeah, he had a good about 4 second gap. Tried to close it up best I could, but then just sort of sat back and cruised and knew that I had a fairly good gap back to Michael and Jamie. So big picture now, championship is what I'm after. No, race wins aren't as important now. So,
important.
yeah.
Well, that's fair enough. We'll take a P2, but Jamie back in P4, so that's a little bit more of an extension of the lead.
Yeah.
Of course,
drop
rounds will start to come into play shortly. So
yeah.
interesting to see what the actual picture is. We might let anyone you want to give a shout out to, Blake?
Obviously you two guys, you're probably getting close to those P plates by now.
Oh, we cracked it tonight. We did it. We've officially got there.
You got there? Very good, very good.
We got over 20 tonight. We got up to the big 2-3.
Oh wow! Awesome work.
The big Michael Jordan.
Yes.
And we've got the new #1 fan base in the PRA team.
Oh, lovely.
So the chat went overboard tonight.
Very good.
And Nathan's just going to have to really work hard next week for who we're going to get in as our pit commentator at Suzuka.
All right.
Up our pit lane, Sebastian Vettel, he just dropped the ball tonight, so he clearly had way too much time on his hand at our Oktoberfest.
Yep. Well,
fair enough.
What we might do, we might bring up our race winner, Matt Dench. Matty, congratulations on P1, mate. Super drive.
Yeah, thank you. Car felt solid throughout the entire stint. Didn't really get any understeer. It was just a little bit slippery towards the end with the rears, but you can always finish that.
Oh, you just looked so stable, and you just went so much longer before that second pit stop. We were very concerned that you had 3 lapped cars when Blake dove into the pits, and we were very concerned that they were going to hold you up, but you seemed to get past them reasonably well without being slowed up.
Yeah, so I thought about coming in that lap as well, but then when Blake went in, you just got to do the opposite of what they do and hope the cars ahead don't hold you up. But I think he might have got held up on his out lap as well because it was a big gap.
Yeah, it was. You kind of had the 3 or 4 seconds without him actually being held up by anybody. So it was quite pretty much. It was hammer time, and you went, I suppose, is the way you would put it.
Yeah, had the pace and went for it.
Yeah, I don't know. The car just felt really good. Made a few little tweaks on the setup during the practice before the green flag, and seems to pay it off.
Right, you've done well, mate. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Give a shout out to the team, RSR. It's good fun over here.
That's good. And what we might do, we might bring up Michael Whiting, our third place getter. Michael Whiting, welcome to the com box, mate. Congratulations on your P3.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations on staying in front of Jamie.
Mate, it was a struggle.
You're
It was a big struggle.
under a lot of pressure all night.
Yeah. Well, it was like 45 laps it was pushing. So, yeah. Well done to Blake and I forgot the other dude on his name.
Matt.
Yeah. You guys were just unreal. Just absolutely flying. It was good. Good race.
Cheers, man.
Does anyone you want to give a shout out to, Michael?
Just the sponsors and the fishy boys, mate. And Jamie for pushing me all night. It was a good race.
Thanks, mate. It was...
Long one, but good one.
Yeah, no, the standard of racing in this series is just getting better and better, and you know, these races, even though they're not short sprint races, they're actually quite enjoyable to call because half the time we don't know where to look.
Yeah, there's action all over the track, which is good.
And we're going to bring up a new name, hasn't been up here before, our hard charger, who managed to come up 9 spots, Andrew Archer.
Well done, Andrew.
Andrew, congratulations on coming up 9 spots and being the hard charger.
Hello. Thank you.
Tough going out there, mate. We sort of looked at the battle that you're having there with Blair Van Ree and Frank Hodak and yourself. That sort of continued to go and go and go.
Yeah, there were good battles all through that. First half as well, I was battling with Nathan Gore and someone behind me. I've forgotten for the moment, but yeah, it was good racing all the way through.
Yeah, and like the come up to 11th, just outside the top 10. So it's a fair effort, and it's really been good to watch the improvement amongst the guys in the midfield this season.
Yeah, thank you. I think it's my best result so far. Definitely one of my best, and it felt like more of it this time was on pace rather than I've gained a fair few on other races, but I feel like a lot of those have been freebies with some more misses. So, I mean, tonight was a really clean race all the way through. No safety cars.
Yeah, all green flag racing, which makes it quite entertaining, and you can sort of really get a good gauge of pace and how guys can manage tyres and fuel.
Yeah, no breaks. I'm sweating after this one.
Mate, we'll give you a quick chance. Do you want to give a shout out to any of your sponsors?
Yeah, Backmarker Racing. I'm in here with Nick Loveridge. We've been really enjoying every single race. Finishing pretty close to each other each time as well. It's been super good.
That's good.
And just anybody that I raced near on track tonight, everyone did fantastically. It was really, really fun.
Yeah, that was good racing. And just going back to what I was saying before about the championship battle between Blake and Jamie, Jamie's actually closed 1 point because he got a 5-point bonus for 0 incident points tonight.
Oh, did he? Nice.
Yeah.
I'll have to go and have a look at those points. Yeah. Pretty close.
Yeah. I can't remember what I did. Did anyone you want to give a shout out to?
No, did that. That's all good.
I did that. That's all good. Yep, cool.
Yeah, I noticed on the last time I looked at the championship points that the points for the teams we're doing a right on. Me and Nick as well. I was surprised I hadn't looked at that. I think we're in 2nd or 3rd.
I haven't really looked at that yet either. I was going to bring that in.
Yeah,
next
I wasn't even sure that was there. I just scrolled down further than usual and saw that. I was stoked. So I think we've been reasonably consistently around. Somewhere between 10 and 20, but no, this was our best result, both of us.
It's good. It's good. These boys
always like a good PB.
Yeah, and it's good to see these boys improving.
Yeah, thanks. Awesome series, guys. Really, really enjoying it. Great broadcast too. Always watching back.
We try. We apologise for the pit reporter tonight.
Yeah.
Oh no! All right, I'll look forward to seeing what happened.
It's interesting.
Okay. All right. I'll definitely watch.
Next week we come live from Suzuka, so it'll be interesting to see. That's a tough track in the V8s.
Yeah. I don't think I've driven this car there yet, so we shall see.
She's a tough track, and
good luck is usually the start of a Suzuka evening. It's doesn't matter what car you're in, but especially with supercars. Usually the first 2 words you say when the lights go out.
I look forward to it.
No worries, and we'll close our broadcast there by saying that we'd just like to thank everyone who's been watching, and if you have come in to watch, still feel free to drop a comment in the chat, and we'll see everybody next week live from Suzuka.
Catch everyone in Japan.
See you later.